Okay, we are live for the Divisional USFFL 2019 in Seattle and Philadelphia. They've already started. They may have forgotten to give us the game number in time. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, no, we haven't missed anything, or have we? Let's see. First and 10. Just starting out, I think. Anyway, no score. Seattle has the ball. The Philadelphia defense. Bruce needs a sec. Yeah, clearly his zeros are everywhere. Not the way to go up against this squad. That gives everybody a chance to smoke him if you got him here. Looks good. Might have a joiner. Tim wants to come on in, I think. Don't see him up, though. Tim's coming in shortly. Gotta get this over there. All right, still on the 2nd and 1. Bruce still fixing that defense. So the Philly defense today has the only injury of note coming into the game. Strong safety Malcolm Jenkins, I think that's him. 5'5", strong safety, out. Obviously, affects a few things. So you got Will Disley, who is, I believe, correct me somebody, the best rated long passer tight end this season, up against him. So that one-on-one matchup will go in Seattle's favor as a first down is taken away and a hold. And then also will come into effect on a run container with 5 strong safety. Will have an impact there too. So meaningful. Working on Disley right away, but in the flats, not using the matchup. Seattle's opened up with a 3rd and long. A watchful eye for joiners. Let's see how we have this set up. I hope I don't. Nope, I don't have this set up correctly. Sorry. Let's see anybody. Oh, I do. Okay. We're good. Well, I'll give you the full screen until Tim comes aboard. On the 3rd down, falls incomplete. A quick 3 and up, but we have a flag that will be declined. So, 4th and 11. Putting unit out in field. Sproles. Fairly weak. 4 yards. His only real opportunity will be on the Seattle punt coverage. First down, guest right run, picks up 4 with nobody in zone. Second and 6 from the 37. A strong run is going to get stopped by Bobby Wagner, filling the hole on the pass call. 3rd and medium for Philly. Enjoy a decent Wentz card when you can, if you're Bruce. Can't get 7 without help in the flats. Well, I can on the 3, but unlikely. Not the chunkiest of flat pass right calls. Fine stretch. He's going flat to Miles anyway. He's picked up by Quandre Diggs. We have a holding call against Philly. A lot of holding calls so far. Seattle's going to decline that one. 2 out of 3 have been declined so far. 4th down for the Eagles, and they will punt away. 47 yards. Fair caught. Another weak punt returner, Tyler Lockett. 1st and 10 now for the Seahawks on their second possession. Blitz showing from the Eagles, which I fully support. You can really get to this Seattle quarterback. Just don't have the horses on their offensive line, so Seattle runs and gets 18. But that is the right posture from Philly as far as I'm concerned. See that all day long. Here's DK Metcalf going deep, gets him for 51. But a flag might be down, and it is a penalty against somebody. We don't know who. Offsetting. That's the thing about the safety blitz, everybody. The X is the only thing that avoids that blitz. And if you have a penalty matchup in terms of team versus team that's in your favor, if you're the defense, that's 6 out of 6. You're going to have something favorable probably happen. 1st and 10, picks up 5 yards. 2nd and 5 on the Carson run. We're going to have to give up those long gains from time to time. You have to live with them. Nice flat pass, 2 men. Nicely done. Forcing Russell Wilson over to his flat pass car was an incomplete right. 4 and 10. Also 11, of course, and Snake Eyes, of course, but the 4 and 10 among the chunky numbers. Short pass, guessed wrong. Going to get the 1st down. Tyler Lockett picks up 10. Second and 9. Only a yard off the yak. Love the yak roll. Big fan of that variation in the game, despite having nobody with even a B on the Falcons this year. Carson, wrong running. She's been doing so far today. 3rd and 4. Into Philly territory. Third and 4. Could easily be 2 down territory right here. Carson gets only 3. 4th and 1. We expect Dennis to go. Will Philly move to a 3-4 in this situation? They do not. 43 on a 4th and 1. No blitz as well. Guessed wrong. Man back there, though. Incomplete. Wow. Well, there's a very important play for 8 minutes in the first quarter. Could have easily been 7 points. Instead, Philly has the ball in fantastic field position. That's a play that we will likely forget about when the game is over, but could have had a pretty big impact. Correct double team call on 1st down, incomplete. There's Tim. Welcome to Tim.
Thank you. Give me just. I'll be right back.
Okay. Second and 10. Guessed wrong end run for Miles Sanders. Picks up the short gain. No flag on the call. No flag on the play, or is there? No flag. Despite the X. 1st down and 10 now into Seattle territory on this short field off the 4th down failed conversion on a 4th and 1. Philly trying to make hay off of what was a fortunate dice roll. But, still it was probably a 40% chance of completion. It wasn't a high percentage guessed wrong situation. Gets the dreaded 5 on the wrong run call. Sanders getting some free running room from Seattle so far. 2nd and 10. Now a blitz from Seattle. Flat pass to Goddard. Falls incomplete. 3rd and long. Now Bruce faces a similar question here as Seattle did on their last drive. Going for a first down here or going for 6 yards or more? Favorable passing matchups across the board for the Eagles. Nickel lined up here on 3rd and 10 against this 2 tight end set. Makes sense to me. 4s and 0s abound in this defensive backfield. The only 5 being Shackfield, Griffin on the left corner. Goddard double teamed. Picks up 6 on the dump off. So now we have a non-contained 4th down from the 38. Expect Bruce to go. Punt unit onto the field. Off the corner coming up. And picks up 18 yards of field position. Seattle starts over at the 20.
All right, catch me up, Bruce. Or catch me up, Anthony.
No score. Philly now with their 3rd drive. Got a draw coming here. Picks up 5 yards. Carson's been doing some good wrong running here. Both teams have gotten into the other team's territory. Seattle had a failed 4th down and 1 and a long pass guessed wrong to DK Metcalf. Incomplete on Wilson's part. And then Bruce just faced a 4th and 4 from the Seattle 30-something and elected to punt. And that's all she wrote so far. And there's been a lot of flags. This time offsides against Seattle. Seattle can get penalized. They are good at that. One of their strengths, sort of, for their opponents. 2 for 15 so far, and also another holding that was declined. Now faces a 1st and 15. No blitz coming on the 1st and 15. 25 yards for Carson around the end. Bruce might need to establish some run calls here.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to find my earbuds because last time there was quite a bit of echo, and I'm wanting to limit that.
That would be great. Appreciate it. Flat pass to Carson. 1 man in zone. Nice play by the outside linebacker who gets the 1 and 3 stop chance to fall his way. 2nd and 10. Blitz coming for Bruce. Flat pass to Carson. No blitz is on. It's picked off on the 2-12. Where's Harlan when you need him? Welcome to the club, Dennis. This is a divisional playoff problem. The 2-12 interception on Philly's card, not run back for anything on the flat pass, though. That's a little disappointing. Midfield again for Philly. Seattle starts off blitz. Looking past the Sanders. Nobody's home. Gets him on the pass rush. Let's see what that matchup was. It's off the safety blitz. Interesting.
Can you still hear me?
5 yards lost on that flat pass, though. Flat pass yards are limited, as everyone knows, for the yardage potential. Short pass, 3 men in zone. Picks up 6 on the dump to Miles Sanders. Sets up 3rd and 9. Teams a combined 1 of 5 on third down so far.
Anthony, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Tim.
Does it sound better with the earbuds?
Yeah, sounds better for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Linebook draw to Sanders. Going to get 4 yards. Outside it contained, 4th and 5. If Bruce punted last time, he'll punt this time, and he does. Coffin corner yet again. This time, going to put him back to the 11. Dennis and the Seattle Seahawks start out there. Haven't seen him try Disley yet against that 0. Off tackle draw, guessed correct. So we're going to fill up the zone. Potential penalty, and we got Philadelphia picking one up here. Personal foul, 15 yards. So we've got a net of 22 on the play for Seattle. Out to the 33, 1st and 10. Long pass to Lockett. 1 man in zone, guessed right. Still picks it up, 38 yards.
Wow.
And was that a sniper? Yep, showed blitz. I don't know that the blitz came. Yeah, he didn't bring it.
You're referring to Bruce as the Blitz King?
Yeah, he blitzed it. I don't think the safety was brought up. He stayed back. Off tackle, short gain, and Seattle is on the move. In the blink of an eye to the 15-yard line.
I brought a stogie to the party too, but mine's frozen and flavorful.
It's frozen?
It's popsicle.
Ah. End run, Carson guessed right. Picks up nothing. 3rd and 4 from the 9. Flat pass is out of the offensive playbook for Seattle here. So it's a tough one. Blitz coming. Guessed right, 3 men in zone, and Fletcher Cox is on him on a 4 versus 2 matchup. 4th and 12. Here comes Myers. Seattle misses the field goal.
Oh, wow.
On 11.
Wow, bad break.
14:06 left in the second.
Anthony, do you mind sharing the damages to your opportunities for passing from that full house formation there down inside the 10?
Stand by. Hey, Harlan, you there?
Yep, I'm here. Hey, guys.
You just missed it. A flat pass interception on the defensive card, 212.
Oh, yeah? Wow, those rarely happen.
We were just talking about you.
Not bitter, Harlan, not bitter. 1st and 20.
As long as you don't bring up the spike fumble or whatever that was.
Harlan absolutely deserved that game. So, there's no actual 0 in zone, 2nd and 20.
Figured this one would be a battle.
Yeah, defensive battle so far. Just a missed field goal from inside the 20 for Seattle. 2 through 10 miss. Now we got 2nd and 20. Blitz coming. Now, Tim, you were talking about the full house there?
Right.
Yeah, there's not much downside, really. 4 yards.
I didn't know if it hurt pass blocking or something like that.
Oh, for passing out of the full house?
Well, not going to hurt it inside the 10. He was at the 9, so the free safety is gonna fill up and go to the short pass zone if you throw short. So you're pretty much guaranteed 4 men in the short pass zone. That free safety just goes wherever the pass is automatically. So from inside the 9, there's not much lost there. What you're losing, of course, is just personnel.
Yeah, I just thought I'd bring it up and just kind of mention it because I know that I have personally learned a lot about some of the gaps in my rules knowledge watching your broadcast, and I've had another coach mention the same to me that, wow, I actually learned quite a bit listening. And then I have another coach who hasn't been on the broadcast who has said, I think I need to check it out for that reason. And so I think sometimes those rules things to inject are good.
Well, and I can get him wrong too from time to time. I caught myself with one mistake from the first broadcast on the dump off rule. But long pass, one man in zone, incomplete. But the real, I mean, in my game against Dennis last week in our Frozen Tundra League draft league, I stopped the game midway and said, "Hey, teaching moment, Dennis. I need what's the point of order? What's this rule again?" And boy, does he know it. I mean, so I would not classify myself in the A category with rules knowledge. I'd say Dennis, Tom from over in so much.
See, you're breaking my heart now, because if you're not in the A category for rules knowledge, then I shudder to think what my grade might be.
I don't think my grade would be very high, quite honestly.
Just watching one of Tom's broadcasts of the SOMIFA playoffs, and you had a safety with coverage responsibilities. 3rd and 10 here. Only 1 third down converted so far, if I'm not mistaken. Long pass to Gordon, forcing the ball deep.
Nobody back there.
And he's sacked for 9.
Wow.
Another punt from Seattle.
Maybe we're in line for a 10-3 finish or something like that today.
Right. 55-yard punt. Anyway, there was a nickel or dime in, and one of the safety nickel or dime safety is coverage responsibility. If you move the safety to long pass, if the person that safety's covering is thrown to in the flats, he's considered open.
Really? Huh.
Yep. Which is really interesting, and it came up on that exact play. Line buck to Sanders. So it came up, guessed wrong, and he got 14 yards or whatever a halfback gets, or whoever was catching the ball. I don't think it was a halfback, but anyway, 2nd and 3 now, up to the 37. But that was a rule that I was not on top of.
There really is just every opportunity for people who want a competitive advantage to learn the rules, just because they're so deep and complex, because there's so many not only so many variables, but various options you can choose. And so, yeah, I need to involve myself in that in the offseason a little more closely.
Yeah, I mean, you read them. I've read them front to back probably 3 times this year. And you still miss it. You miss things. You forget things. Your reading comprehension just drops off by the time you get to. It's like you're better off reading it in chunks, than trying to read it front to back.
Yep.
Double team, but nobody home. So 1 man there, incomplete. 2nd and 10. Harlan, I was noticing back over in this SOMIFA playoff example. One of the teams that Tom just covered in a playoff game has Mahomes and Dak as the quarterback.
Wow.
And he starts Dak. First down on a 16.
How many teams are in that league? 24,
I believe.
Oh,
but the interesting point is he starts Dak. He doesn't start Mahomes, at least in that game.
Huh.
I think he wanted the flat pass advantage that Dak gives him over what Mahomes has. So, that kind of blows up some of the theory I was saying in the last broadcast regarding that the best cards are in the AFC.
I think Dak has a pretty good must-run column too. I don't know what Mahomes is, but
somebody on this broadcast might know Mahomes' card pretty well.
Yeah,
Mahomes is a really good. Yeah, it's like I think if you're at a 5 on a must-run roll, you're already at 14 yards. So he's got some pretty good opportunities.
I think Dak does have a stronger flat pass card than Mahomes. Doesn't Mahomes have like an incomplete on 5 guessed wrong or something like that?
Something like that, around there. Yep.
Whose card I was kind of amazed by how not so good it was Aaron Rodgers' card for this past season. I mean, he had a couple misses on flat passes guessed wrong. I'm like, wow, where does that come from?
I have an upside down card for him this year. Same thing with Brady, who's stronger deep. He's always been a good short guy, Line buck, run, guessed right. Nobody behind, though. Picks up 5 yards. Could have been more. Could have been a lot more. 1st and 10. First down conversion. inside the red zone. This is Philadelphia's first trip inside the Seattle red zone. Clock ticking down now to the halfway point of the second quarter.
It's funny how these games can be low scoring for a while, and all of a sudden the scoreboard just starts getting lit up once the first team scores.
Yes. As an occasional under better, I can appreciate that. 2nd and 5. From the 14. Nice position here for Philly. Comes a blitz. Trying to force a play call. Trying to get some fear into the Philadelphia offense here. Let's see if Philly stares him down or keeps it short. Keeps it short. Miles Sanders. 5 incomplete. Boom.
But when you're inside your own 20, isn't it generally a better idea to blitz or show blitz when you're inside your own 20?
I believe you should blitz every time, especially then. Yes, for sure.
Yeah. If I'm inside the 20, I do it almost every play, pretty much, and outside the 20, almost never.
3rd and 5. No blitz here.
Yeah, I probably didn't hardly blitz at all this year, but I don't know if maybe that's not a good strategy. But
everybody's different. I know I played some opponents this year that were blitzing every play. I don't know if that's a Mahomes defense thing, but I sure see a ton of it.
Depends on matchups. Depends on the card. It does help mask. I'm picking up a new draft league team where I have a bad free safety. I have so many holes. I'm going to keep the free safety hole at 0 because Strat will just let me blitz him. More useful to blitz than try to fill the hole. Short pass to Zach Ertz is double teamed. Incomplete 4th and 5.
Wow. Yeah, he double teamed him correctly. Did that save him the touchdown?
I think it was an 8 on his card, right? So it would have been.
Ooh, we got points on the board.
Yeah, you're right.
So Philly is up 3-0.
So what's the best offensive strategy against a team that's showing blitz all the time? Should you go deeper more often, or shouldn't it really necessarily affect
short?
I'm picking up a lot of fuzz here. Intentional grounding on Seattle.
Ooh.
Pushes him back, 2nd and 20.
Yeah, I like to throw short in that situation so that I can get the added benefit of the sniper without the added risk of the deep throw.
It also depends on the cards you're facing. Is it the 0 long pass cards can vary so much. There's really not any standard format there, it seems. 16 yards on the box. That's up a 3rd and reasonable for Seattle. It's definitely a risky strategy, especially with the dump off rule. I mean, the dump offs can really kill you if your matchups aren't good and you're blitzing a lot on defense. The dump offs can really get you. 3rd and 4. Guessed wrong, going to Disley against the 0, falls, incomplete, finds the hole in the Philadelphia 3-men card. That's something Bruce mentioned on the last broadcast, was that Philadelphia has a 6 incomplete 3-men. He mentioned that specifically. And there it comes, right now.
Russ was really struggling.
Sure is, wow.
58 yards passing, almost halftime, and an interception.
And he's had his chances, too. He's had some deep balls, no men in zone, guessed wrong even.
Yeah, I looked at Russell Wilson's card. I was surprised that, if I remember correctly, he can't do end runs on his 2019 card.
Really?
I remember years in the past where he did a lot of end runs.
Going deep, nobody home. Weird. Yeah, of course, Dennis, if he was on this broadcast, he would tell you all about that and why that is wrong, and he can cite the games that where Wilson had, very purposeful runs on the outside. Therefore, he should have had the card. And if you get him going, he'll start talking about Russell Wilson's long pass card too. Guessed wrong deep. Defensive player makes the play, 3rd and 6. Turn off the baby monitor here, 3rd and 6.
I really would like to see a lot of multiple game injuries this game. if it's possible.
I'm sure you would. Hey, I'm not so sure that's bad for me either. So that's fine. You and I are just sitting and waiting. So
$9 draw on 3rd and 6. The containment by Bobby Wagner, I believe, is a 6-6. Stops the Eagles there. 3 minutes now. Tyler Lockett, nothing to fear for his punt returning this year. Picks up 5. All right, Seattle's got 2:42. I believe Seattle got the first half kickoff. So Philadelphia ball, beginning of the second half.
Anthony, we get to halftime. If you can kind of break us down a little of the stats at halftime, I'd be curious on a score so low, kind of how the stats break down when we roll to halftime.
For sure. Hopefully these guys give us a minute.
This game's moving along quickly.
Very.
Up to the 37 blitz coming. Looking past the Disley. Nice
Nobody
call.
there.
Nobody home
Oh,
again.
wow.
Another 7 yards. Moving the chains. Got the warning.
Have the Seahawks been across midfield yet?
Yes.
They missed a field goal, I think, didn't they?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Missed a field goal, and they missed a 4th and 1 from the 30-something. Or the 40-something. Off tackle draw, now that'll be keyed, so 2-yard loss, 2nd and 12. Chris Carson, 67 fumble on the key. With a 133 reading there, so he can lose the ball.
So that's 67 chances out of 1,000.
That's right. Flat pass to Carson, 0 is in the zone, and Brandon
Sacked.
Grant gets there.
Wow.
10 versus 3.
That was no blitz either. Sacked on the flat pass. Wow.
Only a 31 in the flat pass configuration. Lance hits it. 3rd and 19. Huge play. Long pass, 2 men in zone.
Oh,
They dump it down and pick up 9. And Seattle will be forced to punt.
Did you guys imagine trying to play the board game with somebody and using all the rules that are in the computer game?
I cannot fathom.
It'd take all day.
I don't know how the hell I ever played. I mean,
I played a whole season back when those rules weren't there.
And
I remember we made up our own 2-minute offense and rules when I was playing.
There we go. That's what we're talking about. Fumbles on punt returns.
that's right.
Oh,
One in
wow.
8, is it a 1 in 18 chance? Or is there a chance if it rolls the fumble, there's another roll that is maybe not a fumble?
I believe it's 100% fumble on the 11s, right? Or 3s, as the case may be, or
What a-
worse.
So that is that 1 in 18, isn't it? Or am my math wrong?
I think that's correct.
I mean, that's
Pretty damn high.
one reason why you might want to punt if you're not sure, because that's a pretty good chance of a fumble. I mean, I know my team seems to fumble a lot on punt returns.
Yep.
You maybe would have let it bounce, Harlan.
Yeah, even that I've seen fumbles on that before. Though.
Yeah, I've done that. That fumbled.
I was
on that.
subbing for Miami last year against the Jets, and I had a lead late in the game, and I just wanted to let it bounce, and it bounced off my guy, and the Jets got the ball, went and scored, and they won the game.
So 3rd and 3 with the timeout in hand. He can do anything he wants here.
Yeah. 3 at the 8.
End run,
right
and in
against the
zone
Jets.
does not have the blocking back, so loses 4. Forces the short field goal. And Myers this time hits. No flag.
Wow.
3-3.
Tied it at the half. Let's take a look.
Barn
at the box
burner.
score. So with that, Seattle's up 167-104 in yards.
Look at this third down efficiency.
One
Over
of
6. 1 for 8.
Bad red zone efficiency, bad 3rd down efficiency, bad 4th down efficiency.
Wow.
One huge turnover. Two turnovers, one from each team. The Seattle turnover did not turn into anything.
The last time I played Bruce, I think he was 6 for 6 on fourth down conversions.
Can you scroll down on the receiver stats real quick?
Sure. I wish they had whatchamacallit, not just catches but targets.
Looks like 5 catches total for both teams by wide receivers.
I mean, DK Metcalf has been targeted, and he's not on the stat sheet at all. He's been targeted multiple times. First and 10, Philly. Howard has a nice card, guessed wrong.
Wow, he sure does.
Second and 6.
I wish how they have that Stratomatic report where you can look at a team's offensive play calling and how many times they guessed right. I wish they had that for each game. You could go back after each game and see how many times each team guessed right or correctly keyed it. That would be an interesting thing to look at for each box. I mean, maybe it's not part of the box score, but another report that would be within the game.
In one of the leagues that I'm in, you're required to send in the log after every game.
Okay.
And you can request that from the commissioner when you want to, and then of any particular game, if you want to see exactly how a game played out, you can go back and read the log, which is interesting.
Yeah, but that takes a lot to go through that, though. I've done it a couple of times.
Yeah, we used to do it in this league, didn't we?
Well, it seems like the log from your own game is available until the next file download, then that wipes it out.
Unless you save it elsewhere. You can save it.
Oh.
And then just pull it up, Awesome. Carson and run.
I kind of looked at the log from our game, Anthony. It's like we both called pass defense like 80% of the time, it seemed like.
Yeah. Sure did. That's
maybe I'm calling pass defense too much, but although with the Falcons, I mean, your running cards aren't that good, but
I would submit that in this day and age, that's the kind of defensive calling you're going to see from people that are in the playoffs.
But I mean, your cards might not be that good, but if you're getting the right rolls, then all of a sudden, okay, well, maybe I need to change what I'm calling here. But
so a long pass, guessed wrong, 0 men, falls incomplete again for Wilson, who's having a rough time. Boy, look at that! He had it all.
Yeah.
Gee whiz, he sure did.
Eagles have a weak pass defense, I think.
Picks up 8 on the must-run first down. So there's a conversion, which gives him the 25-yard line as if it was a touchback. So, and a kickoff. So not much field position on that first down, not much reward, but we'll take it. Guessed wrong running. Penny gets a yard.
That's not what you want to see on first down on wrong, though.
That's for sure. 3 men, short pass, guessed right. Lockett cannot bring it in.
Really, just the offenses are not getting the rolls, is what I'm seeing.
Yep.
They really aren't.
Would have picked up 17 wrong there.
We're seeing plenty of wrong calls and, good roll opportunities, and it's just not happening offensively.
Keeping the 2 tight end probably likes that Hollister versus 0 matchup, does Dennis. Long pass to Penny. 1 man deep. Falls incomplete. And a punt. And it's a block punt.
Oh, my.
Wow.
Really?
Hollister, however, advances the ball 62 yards.
Are you kidding me?
What? Wait a minute. They picked up their own blocked fumble and ran it that
62 yards. Huh.
Wow.
Block punts having a huge impact in the NFC divisional round. Well, that's one way. Now the
So what is a long gain on a fumble advance?
it's rare. Check the chart. It's out there. But
A 2 or a 12, I guess.
don't you have to? I mean, in the actual NFL, fourth down, can you advance the block punt?
Yeah, how often do you see
Behind the line of
offense?
scrimmage, or can you only do it from ahead of the line of scrimmage? Or am I thinking field goal? I haven't been. I used to officiate games way back when, but it's been a while.
Bruce says, "Wow, he's scratching his head, man."
Dennis picks up the 12 again.
Wow. That is a crazy play. Let me ask something real quick, Anthony. When you play games, watch games, do you not generally run the animation when you're playing them?
I do not.
I asked because I had another coach ask about wanting to know if they had done something wrong in their setup because they were not seeing the animation. So.
No, it's just me. I think Tony mentioned he wished we had it on here, but I can't get used to it. I feel like it slows us down. I don't know.
Does it slow?
I don't know if it does or not. I like speed.
Yeah.
Well, you like to see all the data about the snap, fumble, check, and all that stuff. I don't usually have that showing when I play. I just the cards and the animation.
I like the scripting there too. So I try to learn. It always seems to answer some of my questions. I'm like, wait a minute, why did that happen that way? And it'll answer those questions for me. So I like that.
So a punt or field goal that is blocked and remains behind the line of scrimmage can be picked up and advanced by either team.
Okay.
If it gets beyond the line of scrimmage, think of it as a regular punt. There's your rule.
Can I just ask? Does anybody remember ever in NFL history watching a game where somebody blocked a punt and the team recovered their own blocked punt and ran it even for just a first down, let alone 62 yards? I can't remember that happening. It probably has, but
probably has. I can't remember.
I do not. I watch a lot of NFL, as you know, Tim. I've never seen it.
I watch all the NFL, and I don't remember seeing it.
I mean, usually when you have a punt blocked and it's going behind you and there's really nobody on your team in position to pick up the ball, right?
And half your team is already running 15 yards downfield.
And Strat is probably
it's
a 50-50 chance who's going to get it. But in real life, a punt block, I mean, it's not – I don't think there's a really good chance of the offense picking up the ball and running with it.
Yeah. Not a good place
for the penalty.
Simulated, I guess.
What's that?
After the penalty, Dennis is kicked out of inside the 10 neighborhood, out to the 15, second and goal on the 15 now.
I was saying it's not a good way a good way for the game to kind of simulate that. Kind of reminds me of when you guys were in my game the other night, and you were talking about I was letting you run for a touchdown. In Stratomatic, you can't run a ball and stop yourself at the 1 yard line like you need.
No.
And so that was part of my calculus that I knew that. And so I'm thinking there's a fine line between the 1 and the 3 yard line where you can get down. Most likely you're going to end in the zone for me. So that was part of my thinking on that too.
Yeah, we talked about a little bit on the broadcast that it'd be nice if that was added in as a feature. Yeah. You know, no different than if you want to advance, if you want to score this touchdown. Fourth and goal from the 18, now they'll kick it.
Because I absolutely used that to my advantage the other night.
It's good. Flag, however, is against the defense, offsides, mandatory against the offense. Oh. That pushes him back a zone now. Myers, I'm not sure the effect, and he missed it. Another penalty, though, offsides against Seattle will be declined.
Wow.
And Philadelphia takes over.
I don't know if you guys watched that Packer-Tampa Bay game last week, but there was an interesting call where it was late in the game, you know, and Tampa had the ball, and they got like 8 yards on first down or 9 yards, so they had a 2nd and 1. So the Packers intentionally jumped off sides to stop the clock and give them the first down to not have to waste a timeout or something.
Yeah.
You can't do that in Strat. That would be cool to do in Strat too. You can intentionally jump off.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing that.
They really make it complicated.
Play. That was a heady play.
Yeah.
That should be done every week.
Who wasn't making heady plays that day.
That should be done every week. With the amount of money the NFL has, it's amazing to me there's not a coach designed just to manipulate rules, number one, to manipulate rules in your play calls. And then number two, somebody who's actually an ex-official who is there to advise the coach. I mean,
that'd be smart.
How isn't that? You just leave it all to the head coach. He's got enough to do.
Right.
Yep.
That was a great play. Yeah, I thought. I mean, that's exactly what you should do there. It's like, wow, why don't we see this every week? We should see that just one time. But what they did there to give him the first down,
That's the first time I can remember seeing anybody do that, though. And I was like, wow, that was really smart.
Belichick
exactly how I thought.
Belichick's brought more into the game on those sorts of things than anybody, but it's still not enough. Especially taking advantage of the half the distance on defense. Jumping off sides on a 2nd and goal from the 4. Very little risk there. So short gain for Howard on that beautiful off tackle card. Into Seattle territory.
I mean, that was big for Philadelphia to keep Seattle off the scoreboard there, because if you're Bruce, you're thinking, oh my, this maybe isn't my night. You block a punt and they advance at 62 yards.
I didn't even think about that, Bruce. Yeah.
I mean, it's effectively 2 punt fumbles. Effectively for Bruce at that point.
In a game this late, that's just 3-3. Games like that, are going to come down to one of those kind of plays, one of those big plays that just a turnover, something weird like what we just saw.
Going deep, nobody home. Lots of blitzing, incomplete. 8 versus 7 matchup, so it was a 21 on the pass rush.
Wentz doesn't have that good of a long pass column, guessed right.
Definitely not.
Well, he doesn't throw a lot of interceptions, but
yeah, that's the sort of card where you're not fearful throwing it, right? Because as you say, the INT's low, so it really depends on the defensive cards and the matchups. Long pass again, this time doubled up, incomplete. So 4th and 10 into the end zone.
is there any thought about maybe going for it there, 4th and 10? He was at the 40.
Not me, not in this game.
No, I wouldn't either.
Nope.
It's one of those games. Just remember the 6-3? Remember a 6-3 overtime game holding against Seattle.
The offense once again starting in a hole. These teams cannot get anything going, man.
Seattle highly penalized. I played both of these teams in the regular season. Beat them both, actually. I think you did too, Harlan. I think so. Anyway,
I didn't play Seattle.
Okay.
I split with Philadelphia.
Another possible flag.
The first game, they were ahead 27-0 at halftime, and then I scored 14 in the second half. But that was a miserable game because the game must have crashed like every 2 minutes. It seemed in the second half. It took forever to finish.
Yeah, I experienced that myself.
I want to say Seattle combined for something close to 20 penalties and sacks against me in that game.
15 yards on a guess straight. I think Dallas and Seattle were 2 of the most highly penalized teams in the conference.
Tampa right up there too.
I felt like I was, and so I was wanting to find a report that would tell me what the penalty overall outcome was, but I couldn't find it.
You can go into that report writer and you can do lots of stuff, sort by different categories and stuff.
Oh, really? I haven't done that before. I need to do that.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. I need to learn that and capitalize on that.
Nice play by the defensive end. I believe guessed wrong because it's the 2nd and 11. Long pass, guessed right, nobody home. Incomplete flag. Intentional grounding again.
Huh.
Wow.
3rd and 21.
Yeah, I think Atlanta had 3 of the top 10 individual sack leaders in the NFC this last year.
Yeah, absolutely, they did.
But who's the guy from New Orleans? He had like
Cam
30
Jordan.
sacks.
Cameron Jordan.
He was a monster.
Yes.
I think he had 1 sack in our playoff game, too.
On the defensive line, not much you can do. Yeah. Should I block it?
That's a good line.
See weird
Scroll
animals
up
across
on
the
that.
screen. We have some hairless cats that my daughter
Awesome.
has that'll come up and bug me every once in a while.
Nice.
They're hyper affectionate. Okay, Ralph.
Well, Philly has it in the cards here for big plays. They just do. Between Sanders and here's Howard, he'll get you chunks, 7 yards. But another flag. Again on the offense, 1st and 15. Negates a 7-yard run by Jordan Howard. Good, Philly has a good offense. Seattle, pretty good. No matter how good your offense is, it's tough to overcome all these first and forevers. 4-yard run, 2nd and 11. Bring in the blitz and run to Sanders. Big play possibilities here.
The dreaded 5. Jeez.
Third and long. Got a feeling that Philly won't be taking any big chances here, but he's been doing it. Let's see. He went deep twice on the last drive in a row. Going deep again, this time to Sanders. Double teamed, incomplete.
Yeah, he likes to go deep to Sanders.
Pump block is on. I'd be very cautious with that penalty card if I were Dennis. 46, fair catch. So Seattle sets up at the 31.
So it's a lot better chance of getting a penalty if you have the punt block on. I guess I haven't really studied that.
For sure, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I learned that the other night, thanks to you guys. Because that's what happened with my big fourth quarter penalty blocking his punt. I shouldn't have rushed it, but I guess I didn't realize how impactful that can be.
Yep. Yeah, you can't run into or rough the kicker if you're in return. Long pass, nobody home. Just right. Incomplete. Very similar long pass cards. Wilson a hair better with the most runs and on the 5 instead of the 4. Hair better than Wentz, I should say. 3rd and 10. Bring that blitz. Bring it. He's bringing
Going
it.
Deep. Going deep against the blitz.
Does he find it?
Got it. Sacked him.
On a 32. A pass rusher of 3 can have an impact against this line. 4th and 18.
Wow, 3-3 late in the third quarter. Don't see that too often.
We don't get to see whether he elected. Long pass, guessed wrong.
Man, these guys are throwing long. It feels like they're getting desperate, and rather than trying to work it down the field when they can't get any engine running, they're just trying to dig some magic and force it.
Yeah, sure does. Sure does, and just missed there.
As long as you don't have a good chance of throwing a pick, it doesn't hurt to go. Sometimes people think I play too conservative.
Right, and both teams aren't going anywhere all day long and getting terrible breaks offensively. All it takes is one long pass. If interception possibilities are low, I see where their thinking is.
Combined 2 for 22 on 3rd down, 3rd and 11 now.
It's nice when you have receivers that can turn a short pass into a long gain in the right situation.
Nobody home. Picks up 30.
Oh,
28 to the cap. Down to the 37 after the 28-yard gain. That's a nice play call. Dennis vacated the zone and paid the price. Got to get points here. Got to get some points. Flat pass to Sanders. That's what he's thinking. It seems like, at least to start off. Loses 2.
Oh,
Nice safe play. I think you're, pretty much locked in for a few yards. No way.
yeah.
Another
Well,
second and long.
defensively, I would sure be focused on Sanders because I'm hearing that name a lot. Flat pass Sanders.
10 yards. 3rd and 2.
Didn't Sanders have the big catch late in the game against the Packers that put him in field goal range to win it?
I think
you're
so,
right.
yes. Right? Yep. Good memory.
Boy, this is a big play.
Scott Guest run, which, it looks bad after the fact, but with Sanders, you gotta be honest. You can't always assume he's gonna pass the ball.
Yeah.
You got to run this kind of.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're right on the precipice of that range border.
Going short. Get 7 on the must run.
Oh,
I think you got to try to play for touchdowns and not worry about field goals.
Just give me points. I'll take safety.
Yeah. Maybe if it's late in the game when you need a field goal to win it, yeah. But
I'll take half a safety right now.
I don't know about you guys, but I love a good defensive battle like this.
Yes.
They seem to be rare.
Playing them.
In this. What was your lowest scoring game this year? Do you remember?
Mine
Yeah.
was against the Patriots, who beat me 18-13 in a game that I didn't get an offensive point until the last 2 minutes of the game.
Huh. How about you, Anthony? You recall?
Don't recall, actually.
I think mine was against the Patriots too. I beat them 17-7. I was like, where? Dennis made a comment like I had the 86 Bears defense all of a sudden. It's like, I don't know. I mean, he was just not. Brady wasn't completing any passes. I mean, he wasn't, when I was guessing pass and he ran it, he wasn't getting anything. That was just one of those fluke games where my defense couldn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
3rd and 10. In decent field goal range here. Blitz might knock him out. He end runs with
the quarterback. Really?
Not going to get any help.
Oh.
26. He's safely in his range, though, outside of variable risk.
Does Carson Wentz have a good run card there for that?
He misses the kick, but there's a running into the kicker call.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
This game has had so many twists and turns on special teams.
Dennis, not deterred, is going to try to block it again. This time it's good. No flags.
It just seems to me there's an inordinate amount of penalties on field goals, but maybe I'm wrong, but
it's these penalty cards. I mean, it comes up right there. I think we talked about it in the last punt. I mean, if you're Seattle with those penalty cards, any chance you have to avoid a penalty, you should probably think about it.
My biggest complaint on that would just be the personal fouls. I have had so many games I've been a part of where there are 5 in a game on one team, and that's just not real common in the NFL.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, and those are killer penalties.
Coaching staffs tend to get control of that once they've seen a couple of those. So it amazes me how often I experience sometimes 5 of those on my own, like the other night. But I'm just saying in general, I see a lot of personal fouls.
If you're Strat, there's a long pass.
Going deep against the run, yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
If you look at the whole season, Strat does a fantastic job with just about everything, including penalties, right?
Yeah.
When you look inside the game, I mean, there's very rarely do you see a flag on a return on the offense for an illegal block or a hold, which happens all the time in the NFL. Doesn't happen in Strat. Very rare,
Right.
So we to your point, the personal fouls too much, right? But again, in the aggregate, they do a great job. Short pass, guessed right.
12 yards.
First down, but a penalty called against Philly for another.
There's a personal foul we're talking about.
There it is.
Lots of those.
Huge play. Not only the rare 3rd down conversion, but also
I think they should name the player who the foul was against. And if you get 2, you're ejected.
Yeah.
That may be a problem in this league with all the personal fouls. Wow.
And he,
Under 9 minutes.
he also has a fairly rough fumble reading, 12.9. Carson in the game. Short pass to Disley, 3 men.
Wow.
Disley gets it on the dump off short pass. 3rd and 1.
This is probably 4 down territory for Dennis anyway.
Yep, absolutely. No doubt about it. Short pass on the run. I like that. Oh, no.
It's been that
You know he's going for it here. You know he's going for it.
You guys are the NFC guys. What's Dennis going to do here on 4th and 1?
Dennis, if you were here, I mean, he would say he wants to call what the defense is not going to call. You know,
Yeah.
So short pass to Lockett.
Short pass.
Wow.
And he didn't get it.
Pass. Wow. Stopped him. Man,
It was a dump off. Stopped him on a dump off.
I don't know, man. Sometimes you're safer on run right than you are on pass wrong in that situation. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I think it's 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 passing. That's, I don't know. To me, that's ballsy to do it on both. But once you do it on the first one, then you're more tempted to do it on the second one because they're sure not expecting you to do it.
Was that another penalty there?
Yep. Another first and forever.
Wow.
After a 13-yard short pass called back.
I wonder if this game could maybe break our playoff record on the scoring. I know that I had a game that was an AFC championship game that I beat Dan Marin that was on here the other night, 7-3. And on the opening drive of the game, I scored a touchdown. And I don't know, I can't remember. I think he got the field goal on the next drive, and then it was just shutout for 3 quarters. So 7-3. This one's 6-3, and we're almost done. Pretty crazy.
I played an exhibition game against Scott Mueller once, and I don't remember what season's team it was. It was the Cowboys against the Packers, and he beat me 3-2.
No kidding. Okay, that's the record.
But that was just an exhibition game.
That's amazing. I wouldn't have never dreamed that possible.
Deshaun is doubled here on this 3rd and 10. Picks up 10 on the double team.
Wow.
Good flags. Nice call by Dennis.
Both teams have all 3 timeouts.
That's a pretty. 6:36 is a ton of time, right? But that's pretty meaningful.
Flat pass to Miles Sanders.
30 yards.
Did he get 30? Really? He did.
Someone's hurt. Quentin Jefferson.
Oh,
just out for the rest of the. Oh, not out for next week. Shoot.
Wow.
Yeah, Harlan, hoping the game goes into overtime, right, Harlan?
Yeah, yep. I told
Miles
Tim before when he
Sanders
stepped away, I'm hoping for lots of injuries. I hope these guys really battle hard.
This is
No,
so
I'm just
huge.
kidding.
A touchdown here puts this game away almost. This is huge. Off
Sanders,
tackle. I like the run call.
Nice 27. 2nd and 3. Loses the flat pass now. But he'll take it on a 2nd and 3. He's glad to be there.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
Take that all day
Sanders
long.
in. Sanders, nice right running. Goes to Wentz.
Linebacker.
Gets a yard.
Wow.
32 fumble.
Oh, man, I don't know.
I don't know if I like the 2 tight end set when it's kind of an obvious running situation, but with one back, it seems like it's not the best when you kind of know he's going to run, but maybe he was just trying to.
And you think he's not going to run his quarterback in that situation up the middle.
That's right.
But
clearly anticipating the key, and saying, hey, see if Jason Kelsey can carry me in on the 10 reading.
Oh, yeah. With that 6 there, that's a good thought. No wonder you're right.
Sanders and Howard. Both of them can run. Howard's not very good right, though. Here's Sanders right. Picks up 2.
Got us 2 yards.
Yep.
There you go. That's huge. And that's what I like.
Yeah, a full house. That's what I was going to say. I would probably go full house here.
No blockers in.
Like you said, you can still pass it.
It's a risky fumble play here. Be careful. It's a 1 yard gain. 2nd and goal from the 3. 3:36 left.
I mean, he's got a pretty strong offensive line. So if he just can get one where they come into play.
That offensive line.
Ready to meet him on the other side, though. Short pass. Crosses him up. 4 men in zone.
Got it.
Gets it. Touchdown.
Wow.
Bruce.
3:18 left. Important. Extra point is good.
Still a lot of time.
Yep.
Well, it'd still be a pretty amazing comeback considering how many points have finally made it onto the board here. I think Bruce has got this. This is going to be a real tough hill to climb in that amount of time.
I think crazier things have happened in Stratomatic.
3-2-6. It looks like his subs are in, though, there for some reason. See all those zeros?
Yeah.
He's got a lot of zeros in his defensive backfield anyway, though.
Is it actually all those, though?
I'm not sure if they're all there, but I think he generally has quite a few zeros in his.
Yeah, it might be, yeah.
Wow.
Ton.
I see what you're saying, Anthony. That's still a lot of zeros. Makes me wonder if he's got that formation set for, like you taught me with the backups to.
Yeah.
I just think his normal defense has like a lot of zeros at cornerback and strong safety. I could be wrong, but I thought there's a couple zeros in there. Unless maybe he had a guy hurt when he played me, but I remember there being a lot of zeros.
Looking past, nobody home. Oh, guessed wrong, but holding against Seattle on top of it.
Oh, gee whiz.
I don't know the yards. I think those yards. Yep, takes those yards. Yards equals time, usually.
I don't know if I'd intentionally want to leave that hitch area looking pass zone open every time.
Maybe not every time, but you can't get out of bounds on looking pass. So
that's true.
At some point,
but now at 2:06, he's got the 2-minute warning. Oh, there's another personal foul.
Yep. Never can have too many of those.
Yeah, that's true. You use it. He's got to score twice. So.
Yeah, I would give him the look in all day long right now. Every play, you can have it. Not one.
He's taking it too.
Yeah, I would probably.
Does Carson have a pretty good guess wrong? Does he have some long gains where you could run a draw play against a 3-2? Because you had to call a pass if they're in the 3-2. Again, you got to use a timeout but sometimes that's.
Yeah, he's got that off tackle is nice. Line buck too, pretty good. 13 on the flat. Gets out of bounds. First and 10.
That's pretty good. Moving down the field so far.
Into field goal range. At some point, if he hits a 1st and 20 in here, or 2nd and 20, he might think field goal.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's going to come down to, if he has all his timeouts left and he's within one score, that's a whole different scenario.
I've always been the contrarian on that. I don't like kicking the field goal first. If I'm that close, I want to keep driving. I don't know.
Yeah, especially on first down, but if you got like a 3rd and 10 or something from the 20, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's.
And a 30.
Not a good way to reach the end zone here. Best way is 0 men in the flat pass zone right now. Short pass isn't going to get you there. Flat pass to Gordon, 0 is there. Gets 10 on the yak reading. 1st and goal from the 6. Couldn't get out of bounds. Spikes it.
You got to throw it.
Wise play, I'd say, to spike. You got to maintain those timeouts.
Do you entertain it all kicking off? If you get a touchdown right here, minute left, would you kick off with your 3 timeouts? Maybe. With the way the game is gone, but it depends if you get touchdown or field goal. I would say field position only matters. Well, it matters more in one situation versus the other. Touchdown.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. Okay. Wow. Well done.
Now he just needs the field goal, so you might kick away because field position really is going to matter. 3 and out, you're almost guaranteed a field goal attempt.
Yeah, and getting that, forcing yourself to get that touchdown first changes the whole calculus on what you do right now.
Yep.
Needing only a field goal.
Chicken away. Outside.
He went for the onside?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's see. I don't know if I'm Bruce, I just run the ball and make him use his timeouts, but
Yeah, 100%.
I'll give credit to Bruce if he does something different and gets a first down.
You got to run 3 plays here. You got to burn those timeouts. Those are the only things that can kill you.
Yeah. Because he just gave you field position, I'd play field position. 3 runs and pin him and make him go 60 yards for the field goal attempt.
100%.
Because you're almost guaranteed overtime. Trying to get the 0 linebackers. Flagrant face mask.
Since I've mentioned it, we've had 3 or 4 of them, right? Face masks and whatnot.
I think I'd go full house. Up there he is. Now he's in the full house.
Mind your fumbles. Jordan Howard has a great fumble. He's min fumbles. I'm not sure what Sanders has. So he's taking a knee here.
Oh, yeah, he's going right to the knee.
That'll send him down to what? Under. It's not going to end the game, that's for sure.
Which, if it's not going to end the game, I don't know.
Run it.
That's right. That's what I think, too.
Yeah, you wonder when you're coaching these games and everybody else is watching, is like how much second guessing is going on at the play calls.
Yeah.
Well, that's the game there. So a flagrant face mask on the QB kneel down.
Oh, wow, you're kidding. So that's 5 personal fouls since I brought it up.
That's just poor sportsmanship there. I mean, come on.
Right on, Arlen. Right on. We're going to have to ask the coaches about that. What were you thinking there? Get your teams.
I mean, how many penalties does Seattle have? Oh my goodness!
Jeez.
It just seems like they must have a record for penalties.
I mean, 13 for
13. No, that's pretty bad though.
It's really what they're required to have though.
Oh.
I mean, it's not out of character.
What did he do? Take a knee? That's the end of the game. Wow, what a game!
That was a great game.
That was a battle.
Great game.
Philadelphia had quite a few penalties too, if I recall. I'll have to ask about that 62-yard fumble return on when your butt got blocked.
Let's take a look at the box.
Yeah, penalties were a big part of the game for sure.
Either quarterback. Oh, Russell got over 50% at the end there.
Philadelphia
lost the total. There it is, 318 to 243. Wow. They combined to average under 300 yards.
Seattle actually had, is it 5.6 yards a carry? I'm trying to read that.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Wow, 56 rushes. These guys ran a lot.
Seattle got sacked 5 times, though. That's a big number in the game.
Yeah, it is, no doubt.
Really nicely called defensive game. The 318 yards aside. I mean, that's you. If you're going to beat Seattle, you got to sack them and you got to get the penalties that their cards have. And both those things happened.
Terrible third down conversion percentage for both.
So it's all going to come down to the NFC East, huh? Wow.
And here comes Bruce. Believe it or not, they warmed up. Congrats, Bruce.
Hey, Bruce, congrats.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Bruce.
Thank you. Crazy game.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the whole thing?
Yeah, we saw it from beginning to end.
I jumped in after the first quarter, pretty much.
The play that could be easily forgotten. Let's jump all the way back to the first quarter. 4th and 1 for Seattle. From maybe your 40, Bruce.
Yep.
Long pass, guessed wrong.
Yeah.
Pure
luck. Pure luck on my part.
And yeah.
I think he had a couple 4th down gambles that he didn't make, and those were big.
Yeah, 4th down for Seattle, 0 for 2. A combined 4 of 18 for conversions. I mean, but he was starting first and 20. It seemed on every drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, the penalties killed him, like left and right. He was getting penalties, even at the end of the game. Like quarterback kneel down, and there's a no roughing penalty. Like, come on.
Dennis is this here.
Bruce,
Hey,
I gotta
Dennis.
ask for your reaction on, have you ever seen a punt blocked and then the offensive team pick up their own punt and run it 62 yards? What were you thinking in that moment? Did you even understand what happened?
Okay, here I am. I can hear you now. Hey, that's Strat right there, man. Anything can happen, and you play a game based on dice, and some random stuff's gonna happen. So it is what it is.
Well,
That's
the Eagles really
brutal.
stepped up and stopped. You didn't score after that play, so that was a big stop because you're thinking 62-yard block punt return is like, wow, things are starting to go unwind here. But
2 missed field goals on an 11 roll too. I was very lucky.
Yeah, that's like I said, that's the end of the game.
Yeah.
It felt like every drive was 1st and 20 for you, Dennis.
Well, I mean, the penalties were some of the types of penalties too, like the intentional groundings. Like all of a sudden you're like 3rd and 21. It's like, okay, well, what are you gonna do 3rd and 21? But I thought it was a well-coached game on both sides. Bruce made some good calls on defense. When it seemed like would get close to the red zone, get inside the red zone, just couldn't get into the end zone. And whether it was penalties or good calls or bad rolls, it's all the same. I mean, it's part of the game. And I don't really like the penalty system that Strat's put together. It is based on what happened in the NFL. So you have to, for stock teams, you have to use it. I think it could be a little bit more detailed and refined, but it's much better than the injury system, which I really hate.
Yeah,
so,
you and me both.
Yeah, but that's part of the game that we all love. It's you get some good things that happen, some bad things that happen. I can't really think about what I would have done differently. Like sometimes teams are like that.
I mean, there's only a few that we questioned on your side. The going for the blocked field goal, for example. That cost you. I think he missed it, and then Bruce, I think you made it on the.
Yeah, got the 5-yard penalty and then faded after a miss.
Yeah, I don't think that makes a difference. So going for the block for the 5-yard, it's only the 15-yarder that makes a difference.
Oh, really?
So whether I went for the block or not, that was going to be a 5-yard penalty. The ones that get stopped by not going for the block are the 15-yarders, and I think Elliott was 2 through 8 from that range. I wanted to give myself as much of a chance as possible of not getting any points on that one.
So you can still get a 5-yard penalty if you're going for a block. I didn't think there could be any penalties if you didn't go for a block.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Go back and look at the log. If you're not going for a block, you can still get those 5-yarders.
Okay.
So it's the 15-yarders that get taken away if you don't go for the block.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Is that written in the rules? Because if you look at the log, it says running into the kicker could not happen.
What was the penalty though? It was it says in the log like mandatory penalty.
Okay, gotcha.
So we'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
But then at the end, you're going for a knee. If you would have gone for a knee 3 times, I still would have got a chance to get the ball back. It would have been unrealistic.
2 penalties there.
Yeah, roughing. Yeah, you're gonna rough the quarterback on a block, and then the other one was a quarterback sneak, and I got some kind of weird penalty. I'm like, really?
Wasn't it a face mask on a kneel down?
A face mask, yeah. Yeah, like
a kneel down. Like, that's pretty poor sportsmanship. You go grab the quarterback's face mask and a kneel down.
Yeah.
Who was that Miami coach years ago that had his guys leap over the line even though the quarterback was kneeling down? I forget who that was.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that?
So,
Yeah.
Was that Sperano, something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Tony Sperano.
Yeah.
Sperano.
Yeah. Not Tony Soprano.
Yeah.
Right.
That being said, on the good side, you had a lot of long pass chances. 0 men. Some guessed wrong. The fourth one in the first quarter. Wilson just woke up on the wrong side of the bed, apparently.
Yeah.
a couple sacks happened there too, so I got lucky on the sacks.
Yeah, I was getting a lot of those low percentage sacks, like the 23% sacks, 24% sacks. He was hitting them. So what did it wind up with? What is Wilson's? How many times did he get sacked? It seems like about 5 or 6.
Five times.
Yeah, those are 5 sacks, 113 yards in penalties, 13 penalties. It's,
No, that was the key.
I was commenting that you guys both started passing deep more later in the game. And I was kind of telling the guys that you were probably both feeling a little desperate, like the machine wasn't getting going offensively for either of you. And it seemed to me at some point in the game you were both kind of content to say, I'm going to start chucking a few just to see if I can get the play that can get me down to score. Did you guys feel that way? Was that part of it, or?
What was part of it for me is that Bruce was calling blitz and not bringing him on those early downs. So I was hoping to get another sniper scope, but it just didn't hit.
Yeah, you got the one on me there.
Yeah, and then it was the kind of game where you call, you're just debating whether to throw a bomb or run. You run and you get the 5, which is, the dreaded 5 no gain. If you would have thrown the bomb, it would have been a long gain. You decide, do I want to throw short or deep? You throw deep or you throw short and it's on the 9, which would have been a defender X on the long gain. You know what I mean? Like that type of game where everything was just a little bit off on what results you wanted to get.
Yeah, I couldn't get any sustained drives going. Get a couple first downs and that'll be it. And so yeah, I tried to go along probably more than I usually do, but I don't think I hit anything actually.
Yeah, those long pass calls on 2nd and 3rd down from the Seattle 40, I think it was, Bruce, late in the 3rd, early in the 4th. You were nearing field goal range. You went deep twice on 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10.
Yeah.
Felt like you were trying to put away, certainly not playing for the field goal there in any way, shape, or form.
No.
So,
congratulations, Bruce. Good job.
Thanks, Dennis. A rare victory over you. I think I beat you twice this year, which is like a record.
Nice.
Yeah, we got the rubber match coming up between Dallas and Philadelphia. We split the 2 games in the regular season, so
that's going to be a fun game. I'll be there for that.
We were just saying, we noticed over in the draft league, Dennis, that Tampa is using Dak Prescott over Mahomes.
Yeah,
nice, Bruce.
It's working for him. He's doing a lot of flat passing, and he'll switch to Mahomes at times. But he's a Cowboys fan. He's very comfortable with Dak.
There you go.
I'm also a Cowboys fan, so.
It's a tough defense. It's a tough team to defend, and Bruce Harlan, you have pretty good defense too. I mean, you're an 8-8 team. That's a well-carded team, and Bruce, I mean, it should be a really good matchup. Who's the home team? That would be Harlan, right? You won the division.
Harlan's home.
Be Harlan.
And we split regular season, so anything can
happen.
I
think both games the road team won, so I don't know if home field's going to be an advantage or not.
Yeah. I can't remember if I have.
How long have you been in that division with Harlan, Bruce? Have you been in that division with Harlan for like 4 seasons, or how long?
3 years. I picked up Philly when they won the Super Bowl in the 2017 cards.
Okay.
So 17, 18, 3. This is my 3rd, I guess, year.
Because you had Houston before that, didn't you?
I had Houston before.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah. Sometimes I wish I had Houston, but now that Deshaun Watson's going to be gone, maybe it's not so bad.
Maybe you'll have Philadelphia and Deshaun Watson, depending on what happens with the NFL.
That would be good. Yeah, that would be good. I have to live with Carson Wentz next year, though, because Carson Wentz is going to be awful.
Have fun with that.
He's going to have it all. He's going to have the snap fumble. He's going to have the interceptions. He's going to every big play possible. He's not going to have the offensive line. I mean, everything that you dream of and not having for a quarterback will be Carson Wentz next year.
Yeah. Anyway, do you have any injuries, Harlan, that you have to carry over into the game? Do you know?
I think Michael Bennett, he's the backup to Robert Quinn. I think he got hurt, but Robert Quinn has been hurt the last couple of games. I think he comes back next week, and he's actually a little better pass rusher than Bennett. I think Bennett's an 8 pass rusher. I think Quinn is a 12 with a 1 star. So I think Quinn is back and Bennett's out. That's the ones I could think of off the top of my head.
Which is important. Very important, actually.
So we got the Cowboys and Eagles, Chiefs and
Tennessee.
who's the other team?
Titans.
So everything's set. Everyone's ready to go. Just need Scott to produce the files, and you guys will be ready to roll. We can even get a game in tomorrow. You guys, why don't we schedule it?
We need some football tomorrow.
Unless you count the Madden Pro Bowl. I think I'd rather watch Strat than the Madden Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Every day.
Today they had one from 1980 something. Did you see that on Fox today? They replayed.
No.
They replayed a Madden Pro Bowl from like 85 or 86. That was worth watching. This one, no, I wouldn't watch. If you guys were, if you guys get a game, one of you two get a game in tomorrow night, one of those games, that would be wonderful. But
Primetime viewing. The window's wide open, guys.
Dennis, I was looking at your cards, and Russell Wilson is surprised you can't end run with him this year. I know, and when I played you in the past, it was like he just ate me alive on end runs.
Yeah,
I thought that was interesting. You can't end run with Russell Wilson on his 2019 card.
Yeah, that was a mistake, and not a mistake. It was an intentional mistake, but I really think it was a mistake because they went back and looked at all Russell's runs, and there was only like a small percentage of them that were designed runs. So they said, okay, we're going to take away the must runs. We're going to take away the end runs, which I don't have a problem with. But if you got to try to replicate his stats. I've run a ton of replays. He never comes close to his running stats without the must runs without the end runs because there's just not enough. They took away the end runs, but they didn't add anything to the must runs. So basically, kind of, I don't know. It's a good card. Don't get me wrong. It's a very good card, but he'll never get his rushing yards this way. It just won't happen. Or even if they would have left the same must run chances, they needed to increase the yardage because they did it a certain way with the end runs, and then they took away the end runs, but they didn't alter the rest of the card. Is my personal feeling. So, you can run as many replays as you want. He winds up, I think his stats are like 75 carries for 400 yards or 350 yards. He never gets close to that. He gets like, 25 to 40 carries, and he only averages like, I don't know, maybe 170 yards for the whole season. So they kind of messed that up, but I get what they were trying to do because he doesn't do those read option runs anymore. But I think they just implemented it the wrong way.
Could he use one more long pass completion today too, by the way, on his card?
He's a great deep passer. They never give him a good deep pass card. And it's because of the must runs. I talked to Glenn about that. He's like, well, he has so many must runs that we only have so much, flexibility in the formula. And it's like, it doesn't matter. Exceptional players need to be carded to reflect their abilities. Like, I'll give you another example is Cam Newton. They never give him a unique linebacker card. That guy would always get these direct quarterback runs from the goal line or 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2.
7 yards sometimes.
Right. He needs to be carded like a running back for linebacker column. But they just don't. Yeah, they just don't want to break their formula. So Russ this year, okay, his actual NFL stats: 75 rushes, 342. In our league, he ran 43 times for 179. So he averages less. He doesn't get as many yards. He doesn't get as many attempts. And I've run like 30 replays, and it's always like that. So there's something off. Yeah, they need to. If they were going to do that, remove the end runs. What I think they should have done is limited him to 2 end runs and had a kind of a watered down end run column, like 2016, the year he had that ankle injury. But I always feel bad complaining. What's that?
How do his passing stats grade out versus real life in your replays?
I didn't really pay attention to that. I was just running those specifically for the must run. But this year, I mean, it always depends on the rule set. But the passing stuff, he had really close, I think. He had 586 attempts in our league, 516 in the NFL, 66 completion percentage in the NFL, and I had 64%. So the stats come out really good on the passing card.
How many yards per attempt? Can you see that?
Yards per attempt in the NFL. Let's see. Doesn't give me that. I can calculate it real quick, but
yeah, I was just wondering if the deep passing was actually deterred in Strat a bit versus real life.
Yeah, but we, they when they have those top 100 things, they always talk about how good of a deep passer is. They just don't give him that kind of card.
Yeah.
He's never had a long gain on 8 like Brady or Manning or any of the really good deep passers.
You guys are looking for Wilson's yards per attempt in 2019, and then in the
Yeah,
NFL
so
season?
in our replay, he was 7.58 yards per attempt. And let's see.
Looks like it was. I'm seeing 8 yards per attempt if I'm looking at the right thing in a Pro Football
So
Reference.
it's close, but a lot of that has to do with our rule set and the way I call the games too. So coaches can influence that.
Definitely.
Any other questions, guys?
Yes, Anthony.
No,
Let's get that trade going. What are we going to do? The Psalms for trade.
The price on those DBs are going up.
Oh, did you get some more offers?
I'm getting inundated right now. Yeah, getting inundated. I've got to. That's what I have to do right after we hang up here is sort through those as we speak. I'm not trying to negotiate, Dennis, by saying that. I'm just.
It's all good. I'm willing to to work it out with you. Just let me know.
Understood.
Tim, have you scheduled your AFC Championship game yet?
No, I haven't. I was kind of figuring to wait until the round finished and he launched, and then I was going to reach out to Pete. So I haven't even asked him yet.
Tomorrow night, 8 Eastern.
Tomorrow night, 8 Eastern.
Maybe
Well,
9.
Bruce, you on maybe like Thursday, Wednesday,
Yeah, I'm
Thursday,
looking just-
Friday? Any of those nights work for you?
Yeah, just looking at my calendar. Wednesday doesn't work, but Thursday or Friday can work. Or even Monday or Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
How does that look for you?
I think Thursday doesn't work,
Okay.
but the other ones I think will all work. So I guess we'll see when the files come up. And maybe Friday would be a good time to. I mean, are you planning on broadcasting it, Anthony, or it depends on your schedule? But
I would like to. I mean, ideally not on a Devil's night, but do not let my scheduling come into your scheduling at all. You guys do what you guys got to do.
the Devils play on Friday.
Devils play Tuesday, Thursday, so we're good Friday.
Do you want to kind of aim for Friday, Bruce?
Sure.
That's a good name.
Are you? What time are you? Are you Central Time?
I'm
Harlan?
Central Time. Yeah, I'm in
Yeah.
Wisconsin Central Time.
Yeah. So do you want to try for like 7 o'clock?
Central from Friday.
Yeah, 7 o'clock Central
Yeah.
Friday. Well, unless
think
things
that would work.
change, we'll
I
go
think
with
that'll
that.
work. Yep.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot for doing the play-by-play. I'll take a look at it later.
Appreciate it, everybody. Good luck.
Take care,
Good night,
Dennis.
everybody.
Thanks.
Okay, take care.
Congrats, Bruce, on the win. See you
Thanks.
See you
Got
Friday.
lucky. Okay. Take care.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.